This is Unit 2 review, numbers 11 and 12. So 11 and 12, these are the problems where, again, you're still trying to graph these. You have an x to the third, x to the fourth, or x to the fifth, and it's not going to factor from the beginning. So when I do this, I have to first look at the p and q's. So the p's are the multiples of the last term, in this case the negative 18. Q's are the terms of the first term, in this case 1. Then you divide them. So I have those written out here already, plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. And then from here we have, again, just using synthetic division, the 1, negative 2, negative 21, and negative 18 from the original problem. And now you just have to choose numbers from this group. And sometimes that's a guess and check game. I already know negative 1 is an answer, so I'm just going to start there. All right, so what this means is when I do this, I better get 0 right here. If I don't get 0 right there, then obviously something is wrong. Okay, since I know that that is one of my answers. If you don't get a 0 there when you're guessing and checking, that just means that's not an answer. Pick another number and try it again. So here I pull down my 1, multiply, negative 1, add, negative 3, multiply, you get 3, add together, you get negative 18, multiply 18, and you can see when you add, you do get the 0 there. I'm left with x squared minus 3x minus 18. I set that equal to 0. This is going to factor into x minus 6, x plus 3. Set those equal to 0. I get x is equal to 6. Doesn't look like a 6, I'm going to rewrite that. X is equal to 6, negative 3, and then don't forget about that negative 1 that we have from up here. You got to make sure you put that as part of your answers there as well. All right, so they are my x-intercepts there. My y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 18. And now I need to use those characteristics of this equation to graph it. So when I do so, again, first thing I notice is I'm going all the way down to negative 18. I'm going to go by 5s here. So again, negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20. This is very similar to how I did that one prior. All right, and now my answers for the x-intercepts are at negative 1, negative 3, and 6. So when I go to plot this now, I have my negative 3, my negative 1, my positive 6, and my negative 18. All right, I'm going to draw positive x to the third through that. Again, I want you to do this on the calculator as well so you can see what happens, especially down in this region here and then up in there. You know it's got to cross through each one of these. Nothing bounces because there's not a double root. It has to pass through the y-intercept. But just to make sure you have this accurate, I want you to go through and graph that on the graphing calculator. Last one, number 12. So you can see number 12 is a monster for the p over q's. All right, the p is the factors of 24, q is the factors of 25. All right, basically you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And you divide all those by 1, so it doesn't change, then by 5, and then by 25. So those are all listed out. Again, I recommend that you exhaust all the whole numbers first before you attempt any of those fractions. I already have the setup with the synthetic division with the 25, 25, negative 154, negative 4, and 24. All right, I'm going to choose a number. All right, again, I know that 2 is one of the answers, so I'm going to use that. Bring your 25 down, multiply, get 50, add, get 75, multiply, 150, add, negative 4, 8, add, get 4, and I'm sorry, you get negative 12. This is a negative 8. That's going to be a negative 12. Multiply, negative 24, and you're going to get 0 there. All right, so that did go through and come out as 0, so I know that 2 here is one of my answers, one of my 4 answers. Remember, this is an x to the 4th degree of 4. And so now I rewrite this as an x to the 3rd, so 25x to the 3rd plus 75x squared minus 4x minus 12, set that equal to 0. Right, this is going to factor by grouping. I'm going to group the first 2, and make this a plus, tuck that negative in, group the second 2. When I do so, I now have a 25x squared, I'm left with x plus 3. And I'm going to take out a negative 4, and I'm left with x plus 3. That gives me x plus 3 times by 25x squared minus 4. Both of those are set equal to 0. When I solve here, my x-intercepts are going to be 2. The first one we had, negative 3, which comes from the x plus 3. And this is going to be 25x squared equals 4, divided by 25, that's 4 over 25. Square root both sides, so you get a plus or minus 2/5. So there are my 4 x-intercepts. Y-intercept here is going to be 0, 24. Again, you get that from the original problem. So when I graph, again, just like last time, this time I'm going all the way up to 24. So when I do this, this is going to be, I'm going to count by 5s again, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I have -3 and +2, and then my plus or minus 2/5 in there. So 24 is going to be up top, my -3, +2, and then plus or minus 2/5 going to be right here. All right, this is a regular x to the 4th graph. Okay, it looks like I'm going to run out of room here. All right, when I draw this, this really should go down probably further here and then come up. It's going to come back down. All right, that's probably going to be symmetrical. It's probably going to be the maximum right there since these are both equidistant away from the y-axis there. And again, come down and then come here, come back up. All right, so I just can't draw that down there. I've run out of room. All right, hopefully you understand. All right, that's going to look like a W. Make sure again it's smooth and that it is continuous.